Good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world of darkness, and welcome to something magical things mage venue where whimsical things happens and paradox and stuff. um, Today's scene we'll see little orphan Annie, uh, also now apparently dubbed Violet. At college, she came back from her trip, which was kind of shaky because she faced her first angry awakened spirit, who might not have done anything if people had been properly, well, not forgetting that there was a terrible accident and that people died in this accident. So she is still probably a little shaken by her experience, and she has decided that yeah, she she needs to probably work on something to get her mind out of this mindset. And she's actually in front of the wall that serves for most students of liberal art to do however they please. And she's actually starting to paint a picture uh, of Bill, the poor homeless guy who was ran over during the accident. And this is where we will start our scene.
Sky is enjoying himself. He, Today is kind of one of the better days. His performances at Broadway are, going pretty well, and he's deciding to, the semester's winding down, so it's time for him to finish out his finals and, finish out hard. And he's on a bit of a break, we'll say, and he is on his way to this particular place that he knows about where liberal arts students hang out because he feels that he can either, stretch his leg, get some exercise, or even catch the odd conversation or two. Um, as he comes, he will smile and wave at most folks. Some who have seen a few of his performances, smile and say, "Yeah, that's me." You know, uh, maybe sign a T-shirt or two and just keep going as he will go and smile at looking at a particular drawing that's caught his eye. Watch and it's actually going to make him think of Maggie, and he's going to chuckle.
And yeah, Annie is still in her zone moment as she's looking at this this drawing that she's starting to paint. And yeah, at some point she gets that feeling, that strange feeling that someone is behind you watching you, or maybe a certain familiar is whispering like, don't look behind you, but someone is totally checking out your ass.
um,
and
Depending on if she turns around or not.
and then yeah, she turns around like but first she gets this strange reflex, like she gets her heads up, like if she hears someone talking to her, and she just turn around and she sees she sees you.
hmm
Oh,
Hey, he'll wave, and smile. I was just admiring your work.
oh, oh, well, it's not finished yet, but
Oh no, it's really good. From what I see, that's like them.
well, thanks. And uh so yeah, with I guess with Fame One, I would know who you are. Uh,
Yeah.
considering we have technically, even if it's a different uh, kind of music,
Hmm.
still you still made
Work
quite a
gets
lot of
around.
noise. You still made a lot of noise happen
Yeah,
during your ballet.
yeah.
So, um, so she nods and she gets this expression like I don't I don't know what I should do right now. Uh, she extend the hand and
Uh,
she at the last minute she sees that there's painting on the hand.
uh.
She's like, whoops, uh, sorry. And she start to put the paint on her jean.
he'll
Well,
no, he'll smile and be like, no, no, no. I totally get it. I get it. But you wanna get a cup of coffee?
and she makes a pose like uh like she doesn't compute, and she goes, um sure.
And he'll smile, and and he'll like take you to like the coffee shop that's not too far from here. Starbucks, cause law, and he will get you whatever you want. You know, take
uh
it.
she's yeah, she's going to get some tea.
Okay. He'll get a like a large green tea and take a seat. So, haven't seen you around. Are you new to this school?
uh well not not really.
Mm.
Well, um it's I'm starting my third year here.
Oh, so I'm the newbie, as he laughs. Yeah, I just started going a while ago.
Oh well, I mean, it's it's okay. We all have to start at some point. I've seen a guy who's like in his 70s and he joined for the first time. So
Mhm.
we all have to start at some point.
Cool. Um, so tell me, why art? Is that all you do?
Uh, well, she she makes a pause as she's trying to think about this question.
Hmm.
Well, I always think that sometimes uh, sometimes you can't really express with words exactly what you intend because
Hmm.
even if you have the same language, sometimes it's hard to understand people, but it's different with a painting or with music. You can try and communicate with others, and even if they don't interpret it the same way as you do, generally people can relate in some way with you.
Oh wow, I totally feel the same way. It's like when I'm dancing, it totally brings out the best in me. It's like the best thing ever. Um, I feel like I'm able to like tell a story that nobody else has. I'm able to tell a story that everyone else will be able to relate to. I think it's like the best thing.
Mm. Yes, and even if it's a ballet that is already known, with each interpretation you can try and find something new in it, even if the story is the same.
Totally, I totally get that. So, as he smiles, um, he's going to hold out one of the flyers. Is this you? Like,
Hmm.
it's seriously. Are you okay?
Oh, is it one of the flyers of her band?
Yeah, it's just like shit. Are you okay?
uh, she, she almost makes a spit take, and she sorry.
He's like patting your back, like you okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
He'll smile. You want me to get you some napkins, a tissue, maybe?
Um, no, no, it's okay. It's okay. Uh, well, and she kind of scratched her head. I don't really I don't really know what happened. I mean, uh, never really happened to me before. I was on the roof with the guys, and where I set up my laser machine and my image projector, and uh, I don't know. In the middle of the show, I started to see. I don't know. You know this feeling like you get your head becomes fuzzy, and then everything becomes white. And apparently, that's how people get seizures. And while it's not really a good idea to be on the front and making a seizure, an well, an epileptic seizure, and then you fall from the roof. Yeah, that's not the best thing to happen.
So he's gonna smile, and he's tell me more about the experience. What happened? Like, did you did it feel weird? Because I remember I had like a similar experience. It was one of my first auditions to see if I could get into this dance company,
Hmm.
and I remember I was. It was almost like I was it? It was almost like I was pushing myself to a place that I've never been before, and it was like I was feeling and hearing everything at once. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Is that kind of what happened?
Uh, I mean,
Like,
I've read things about uh, acid trips. Almost looked like one. Like, I mean, apparently it's different from for everyone, but apparently, yeah, like time slow, time slowing down before everything become white, and then you have the impression to be upside down. Actually, I think this impression would probably be me falling from the roof, but
he's going to shake his head. That's not what happened. like it's like you're explaining the story, and he's going to start shaking his head like no.
and she raised an eyebrow like when he says no, and
um, he's
she
going to
goes,
look at you and say, "Did you feel like you could basically touch the colors, like almost feel it and taste it at the same time?"
she drops uh she drops the cup.
Hot tea everywhere.
No, when I pause a question. What I meant when she drops the cup, she put the cup on the table. But yeah, no, that could have. Let's not retroact. Yeah, she dropped the cup. She dropped the cup for a second before going. Oops, yeah, probably spitting a little bit of tea on her hand.
Hmm.
Um, uh, she she takes uh she takes a look around,
Hmm.
and she she looks at this guy that just out of the blue uh come to talk to her, bring her to drink some coffee, and then start to talk about some weird shit, man. And
Yeah.
she makes a pause, and she says, "It felt like and she's very hesitant, like she's trying to find her words.
Mhm.
Um, felt uh, like a dream, and I had to wake up.
Yeah.
Like she's
Totally.
trying to probe. She's trying to probe. Like, am I? Yeah.
No. No, you're not crazy. As he just shakes his head, like almost like answers, like you're not crazy. Um,
Well,
and he's
I kind of accept the fact that I'm not crazy, or if I am, then it's a very interesting kind of crazy.
indeed. I think we're all a little bit crazy, but because what the hell is normal? But yeah, he's gonna shake his head, almost agreeing with everything that you're saying.
So, um, and she takes a breath, and she's actually going to say it very fast. Like, so I was in a white place, like full of whiteness, and I was upside down, and then
He's just gonna say as he just puts out his
ah
it's all coming together now. But yes, yes, and yes, as he just looks at you, and the more and more you, it's better if I show you, because I feel like all this explaining is just going to make it more difficult. So he is going to. You want to come? The dance instructor left the gym open and nobody's there, and I wanted to show you
mhm.
so this way nobody can overhear what we're talking about.
I'm just going to think about what Trent would say at this moment, and I
Hmm.
think that Joey is probably going to say something like, "He's going to show you his dick," or something like that. But yeah, that guy, he's not really a maid. Like he just want to bone you.
It's just gonna flip out his dick and be like, "Here's Johnny," but no. But he is going to basically take it to the auditorium, cut all the lights on, and he is going to he is going to focus a bit. And excuse me. And a point of willpower because God. Um, good thing I did. That's one success. You see, as Sky begins to start talking to the a particular he starts talking to the mirror, and he starts kind of like caressing it, and you see a little, almost like a reflection of him.
Hmm.
It like you see him moving, but then you what you see on the wall is his reflection is moving.
She's looking at it very intensely, like, wow,
And he,
okay, that's that's something.
it is something, but basically what I wanted to say is that this thing that happened to you, it's called an awakening, and you are feeling the world and seeing the world and tasting the world and experiencing the world like the way everyone should be.
Hmm.
That
So, so does it means that uh, everyone should be asleep, and that we're, I mean, or that is it that everyone is asleep and that they are just sleepwalking and we are awakened? Well, yes, technically you said awakened, so um,
yes, that's it. Actually, most people go through their lives kind of, and that you have you ever had to work on an assignment and you didn't have enough coffee and you kind of had like that hazy feeling like you should understand what's going on around me, but you don't, and you're just kind of going through the motions.
hmm
That's kind of the way everyone is, but usually, at least the way it was explained to me, is that something kind of pops in your head or
hmm
something kind of pushes you further than you thought possible. And you
hmm
kind of see the world the way it is. Truly see it.
she makes a pause, thinking about what he's saying. I've When I've seen a little bit of the world, um, at least yesterday. Uh,
Well,
it's
as he kind of spins the mirror, what happened?
um, so I have this friend who said, "Oh, you should totally go there. Like something is going to happen."
Mm.
And when I went when I went there, there was I believe he was not Connor, which is weird, kind of a dick.
He
Uh,
kind of, she kind of, you what you say? Not kind of. He kind of rolls his eyes and just like, yeah, all right, okay. It's like a hard roll, like that's right.
and there was this other girl, Neon.
Maggie,
Okay, she said she was named Neon, but okay, Maggie. Uh,
Maggie.
and there was uh, there's a I guess yeah, I guess spirit would be the better term. There's a spirit who awoke, and he was very angry, very angry, very hurt, and he made a rampage. He made chaos happen, and at the end, when we tried to put a little order by cutting his source of power, I guess, or feeding, um, Maggie found that uh, actually what angered this awakened spirit was that there was a small shrine, you know, those where that happens when there's a victim of an accident,
Hmm.
and the shrine was just there, forgotten, kind of desecrated, almost as if people had passed through it without thinking or without respecting it, and we uh, we made the shrine better, and she she kind of scratched her head. Um, I hugged it and I said I was sorry, and I'm not sure that it was really enough to appease him, but at least he felt less hurt for a while.
I know someone that probably will be able to answer that better than I could. But one thing I want to express when you start doing stuff like that, you said you paint, right?
Yes.
You know when you paint slowly, you can kind of stay in the lines.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go really fast, you sometimes go out of the lines.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, well, the when you awaken, you can sort of color outside of the lines, but outside the lines being as he points his hands around the room like the world, quote unquote. But there's a catch to that. Um, if you try to add, let's say, too much color, too much too fast,
Mm-hmm.
you'll hurt yourself a lot.
Um, is that a backlash?
Bingo.
Mm,
So be very careful when you do things like that. And also, use none of these words to regular people.
because of the suits.
Bingo. You don't know who's watching or who's paying attention. That's why I took you out of the coffee shop.
Mm. Um, so okay, I need to ask this question first.
Hmm?
Is Hogwarts real?
Quite. But let's just say that everyone sort of likes Slytherin and everyone kind of hates each other. That's the best explanation. But everyone definitely has an idea about how things should be. But the way it sort of happens is really up to the person. So you decide what you want to be.
Mm. So, uh, mm,
Like my specific belief, um,
mhm.
I side with something called a cult of ecstasy, right? And that's what we do. We experience the world around us through like sensations and feelings and just anything that can make you experience and bring yourself to a new higher elevation. Not necessarily, not to be confused with the name. We're not all sex crazed idiots, but it's like we what we feel passionate about elevates what we can do and how we can manipulate as he puts his hands up against like everything.
So, so basically, what you say is that this this uh, group, and
Mm-hmm.
she kind of thinks about like why. At first, she thought, oh yeah, um, cult of ecstasy, like drug, and
That's
then
why you
she
said
thought,
it too.
and then when he starts to talk about it, she goes, huh,
Yeah.
okay, but still, uh, hmm. So is it like the just to be sure, it's like the orphan thing?
And
Like it
an
yeah she
orphan an orphan is someone who the way it was explained to me was that it's a particular person that doesn't belong to any set of tradition. Traditions being like Hogwarts houses.
oh okay.
Orphans don't belong to any of those.
Oh okay, so I kind of understand. So do I um do I have to do I have to join one, or is there like okay, I'm going to sound probably
Hmm.
like like a noob for this one, but I guess they're
Oh,
not like clubhouse or fraternity house or something like that with come and join us. Here's the program. Like we do those things. You want
Uh,
to be part of us. Like wow.
Not so much. It's usually the person that helps you after you awaken. Usually explains those things to you, but the way you described it sounded a lot like kind of what I experienced when I awakened. So I
Mm,
think that we have a little bit in common. So that's why I asked. That's why I kept asking the probing questions. I apologize.
mm, well, I mean, I think even if I don't really know a lot about
Hmm.
the things that are out there and these traditions.
Hmm.
I mean, at least I can find at least some ground understanding with what you say. I mean, when I when I looked this at this spirit, at this poor guy who got run over and just died and got forgotten, made me sad and angry because, well, I mean, if people hadn't forget about him, and I mean, it's not because he was just a homeless person that he should be just just forgotten like that. If I think that if people have negative emotions or indifference, then they they influence people around them. I I mean, you know how everyone is very happy in the room, and then there's just this person who just say like I don't know. Uh, she thinks just for a second, like, oh yeah, Muslims are all terrorists, and then bam, all the room just becomes very quiet, and everyone like uh, doesn't is not happy anymore, and just get torn either by an endless and stupid debate, or then all the happy thoughts are gone, and then everyone feels awkward, and then everything is ruined. I think that perhaps if people and probably spirits could work better together and help understand each other's, or maybe they're well, probably going to sound very touchy feeling, but if they if their feelings could interact with each other and reach out, maybe maybe places would be less, uh, people would be
Terrible.
less angry. Yes, less terrible.
So with that, noticing that we've both been standing for quite some time, Sky's gonna hand you like one of like the stools in the dance studio. It's gonna hand it. Um, Sounds like that. You definitely have a lot of ideas, and at the root of that, I think that those emotions or those feelings that you feel,
Hmm.
you might be able to do some pretty fantastic things. For example, you might be able to find out how using those emotions or those feelings or those things of right, uh, and those god damn it, I lost my train of thought. And those feelings, you'll be able to do things that can like help you. It'll be able to help you to influence the world. So to answer your first question, no, I'm not a hermetic. A hermetic is quote unquote another Hogwarts house. But
Hmm.
I wouldn't tell you to that you have to be a cult of ecstasy member. It's kind of people who it's less like a group of people that kind of share the same basic ideas of pa- basic ideas of passion and extra feelings that help elevate you in experience positions.
So, hmm, hmm. Um, are there others? I mean, uh, cultists, or well, I guess there must be others. I mean, that that would be weird. It's a big city, or I
Well,
don't know.
at least for the most part, uh, until we have more time to talk, because there's a whole lot more that I need to show you. Um, and I don't want to overload you. He's going
Hmm.
to you should at least know that you have somebody that you can talk to. So he's going to give you his number right here. Um, Mondays, Sundays, Mondays, and Wednesdays. I have to do performances on
Just,
Broadway.
just to be fun. You can see that after you just handled
Hmm.
the number, she just raised her head like she's listening to something, and she just she blushed because
He's
apparently
gonna
somebody's talking to her.
and he's just gonna smile and he's gonna be like, yeah, Mondays, Sundays, Mondays, and Wednesdays. I have performances on Broadway, and you can come by and see them if you'd like. But I'm generally hard to reach. But any other day, after say 4, you could like call. We can catch up on something.
Okay. Thanks, thanks for the number.
Uh, just know that you're not alone. If you ever want to talk, you can do that. Just be very careful about who you talk to about this
Hmm.
because you don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want Will Smith to come to my house.
You don't want to be dragged away into the night and thrown into a room because that's what will happen if the wrong people catch wind of what you're doing, and they'll, in a very real way, you'll put a whole lot of us in real danger.
She nods. She nods as she understands as Neon has even for her short interaction before things went chaos and all. Yeah, she emphasized the need of discretion, and she's going to make a pause, and she's just to extend her arm, like, can I have a hug?
Yeah, he's gonna hug you.
uh, how tall is he?
uh, 5'11".
Oh wow, you mean you're you're as short as my character is?
Yeah.
Okay. And she just coughs after a little bit and say, um, okay, I'm so I'll guess I'll see you around. Uh,
Definitely.
uh, by the way, I'm Violet.
Sky.
She nods and for a second, she thinks a little bit, and then she realized something. She left all her material and paintings just near this wall. Shit, 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 shit. And she just run. She just run. Sorry, you gotta go by.
He'll wave behind her. Bye, Violet.
and as she run, as she thinks about all those things, I think that this is a good place to stop. Thank
Mm.
you, player, for playing, watchers for watching, and we will see you next time on this crazy, crazy mage adventure.